The morning light spills through the curtains, soft and golden. A gentle breeze carries the scent of jasmine from the garden. Margaret opens her eyes slowly, her breath steady but shallow. Her body feels heavy, her back stiff, her legs reluctant to move. She sits on the edge of the bed, staring at her slippers. The world outside hums quietly, waiting for her to begin. Once she loved these mornings, walking by the river near her home. But lately her knees ache, her spine protests, her steps have grown small. The mirror shows a woman strong yet weary from stillness. Margaret sighs and remembers her doctor's calm voice. Movement is medicine, he said. Start small, but start today. She looks toward the corner where her old exercise mat waits. It feels like an invitation, patient and kind. She stands slowly, feeling the pull of age in her joints. Her hands reach out for balance, her heart whispers courage. Today she will bend, breathe, and trust her body again. A small motion, a gentle beginning, a quiet promise to herself. The sunlight grows warmer, and she takes her first breath of change. Margaret stands in the quiet of her living room, the mat resting beneath her feet. The morning air is cool, and a soft beam of sunlight touches her hands. She takes a deep breath, feeling her ribs expand, her chest rise, her lungs awaken. Her knees tremble slightly, uncertain, as if asking whether they are ready for this. She smiles at the thought and whispers to herself, "Slowly we begin." The sound of her own voice comforts her more than she expected. She bends her knees just a little, the motion small, careful, almost shy. Her fingertips stretch forward, not yet reaching her toes, but reaching for hope. The stretch sends a message through her body, a reminder of muscles long asleep. Her spine feels the pull, her breath deepens, her awareness sharpens. Each movement feels like a conversation with herself, a meeting between will and body. She rises again, slowly, spine tall, shoulders relaxed, heart steady. The floor creaks softly beneath her feet, marking the rhythm of her determination. She bends again, a little deeper this time, her balance finding its rhythm. The pull behind her knees is gentle but real, a quiet whisper of strength returning. She keeps her eyes closed for a moment, listening to the sound of her breath. In and out, steady, calm, grounding her in this small, sacred moment. She remembers her younger years, when bending and reaching were effortless. Back then, she never thought of movement as a gift. It was simply life. Now every inch of motion feels precious, deliberate, worth celebrating. Her body, once silent, now speaks in soft murmurs of gratitude and awakening. The air feels warmer, her body lighter, her mind more awake. She realizes how long it has been since she truly felt connected to herself. The stiffness begins to soften, melting under the rhythm of her steady breath. The aches are still there, but they no longer define her, they remind her. Remind her that she is still here, still capable, still growing stronger. She bends once more, slower, deeper, her fingertips now brushing her knees. The mat presses softly against her soles, anchoring her to the present moment. She exhales, letting go of doubt, of fear, of the voice that once said, "You can't." Her body answers that voice now, with every gentle bend that says, "I can." Outside, a bird sings near the window, as if cheering her quiet victory. She straightens her spine, hands resting on her thighs, eyes still closed. A smile spreads slowly across her face, one of peace, not pride. She whispers again, this time softer, "Movement is medicine." The words feel truer now, lived rather than remembered. She bends once more, her hands reaching closer to her toes, her back long and graceful. Each breath leads her deeper into calm, into courage, into quiet joy. This is not exercise, she thinks. It is a conversation with time itself. A promise kept between her body and her spirit, renewed with every bend. When she finally stands still, the sunlight has moved across the floor. It warms her face, and she closes her eyes to feel it fully. In that light, she feels not old, not weak, but beautifully alive. She takes one final deep breath and lets it out in a soft, contented sigh. The morning feels brighter now, and so does she. The next morning arrives quietly, painted in soft tones of gold and blue. Margaret sits for a while before standing, feeling the rhythm of her breath. The air is still, the house calm, as if waiting for her first movement. She steps onto her mat, her bare feet grounding her against the cool floor. Her hands rest gently on her thighs, and she closes her eyes for a moment. She listens not to the world, but to her body. There's a soft hum beneath her skin, like an echo of life waking up. Her knees feel tender, her back a little tight, her hamstrings quietly whispering. Each sensation tells a story, not of pain, but of memory. Her body remembers the years of sitting, waiting, carrying, surviving. And now, it answers her gentle call to move again. She bends slowly, spine lengthening, breath flowing through every inch of her. The stretch begins behind her knees, traveling upward like a slow-moving wave. It reaches her lower back, unlocking something that had been frozen in stillness. Her breath deepens, a sigh escapes, not from effort but release. She rises again, slower this time, more aware of every motion. Every bend, every breath, becomes a small lesson in listening. Her muscles speak in quiet tones, guiding her toward what feels right. There's a wisdom in her body, older than thought, patient and true. She realizes she doesn't have to force anything, only allow. Allow the movement, the stretch, the gentle ache that signals renewal. Her breath becomes a rhythm, in, reach, out, release. The sound fills the room, steady, calming, alive. She feels her heartbeat settle into that rhythm, matching her breath, grounding her spirit. For years, she treated her body like a machine, expected to obey without pause. Now she sees it differently, as a friend, one she's learning to understand. The more she listens, the clearer its language becomes. A small tension in her calf means slow down. A sigh in her chest means breathe deeper. A pull behind her knee means we're waking up. She smiles softly, realizing how much her body has been trying to tell her. It's not about perfection, she thinks. It's about attention. She bends forward once more, fingertips now brushing the tops of her feet. The floor feels closer, the distance between effort and ease shrinking. Her spine straightens as she rises again, tall and proud in quiet victory. The morning sun shifts across the floor, touching her shoulder like a blessing. Each beam of light seems to whisper, "You're doing well." Margaret breathes in that light, that warmth, that affirmation. Her eyes open, soft and clear, filled with calm determination. She bends again, slow and mindful, the movement no longer awkward but graceful. Her body follows her breath, not her fear. And in that simple exchange, she feels an intimacy she hasn't known in years. Listening to her body has become a kind of meditation, a silent dialogue, a rhythm of respect between motion and stillness, strength and surrender. When she finally stops, the silence feels fuller, richer, alive with meaning. She stands still, one hand over her heart, smiling with quiet understanding. Her body has spoken, and she has finally learned to hear. The third morning begins with the sound of soft rain against the window. Margaret listens for a while, letting the rhythm calm her thoughts. The world feels slower, gentler, wrapped in the quiet song of water. She rolls her shoulders back, feeling a pleasant looseness spreading through her spine. The stiffness that once greeted her each morning is now softer, more forgiving. She steps onto her mat, smiling at the familiar pattern beneath her feet. Her movements have become a ritual, one she now looks forward to. She bends her knees, straightens, and begins her slow descent toward her toes. Her breath follows the motion, a graceful wave carrying her deeper into stillness. And then, as her body moves, her mind drifts toward memory. She remembers a time, when she could run across fields without thinking. The scent of wildflowers, the laughter of her children, the wind in her hair. Those moments rise in her chest, warm and fleeting, like sunlight through clouds. Her fingertips graze her shins, and she feels the strength that carried her through life. Not the kind of strength that lifts weights, but the strength that endures. The kind that bends but never breaks. She inhales deeply, and the scent of rain carries her back further. To a dance hall lit by golden lamps, her younger self spinning in joy. The sound of music, the softness of touch, the lightness of movement. Her body remembers, even now, even after all the years. She exhales slowly, feeling time stretch and fold within her breath. Her back straightens, her head lifts, and she feels present in every memory. Each bend feels like a bridge between who she was and who she is. Every motion holds a whisper of gratitude for the years that shaped her. She thinks of her hands, once busy with work, with care, with love. Now they move in slower rhythm, but with deeper meaning. She bends again, fingers reaching further, almost touching her toes this time. Her heart swells, not from effort but from recognition. She is not just moving, she is remembering how to live inside her body. The rain grows softer, tapping like a heartbeat against the glass. She imagines it washing away doubt, washing away fear of time passing. The mat feels warm beneath her, the air full of quiet acceptance. Her muscles hum with life, her breath steady and free. She stays there for a while, suspended between past and present. The years no longer feel like something lost, but something lived. She rises slowly, hands resting on her knees, eyes closed in stillness. The sound of rain fades, replaced by the rhythm of her own heart. She whispers softly, "Thank you," though she's not sure to whom. Maybe to her younger self, for never giving up. Maybe to her body, for carrying her this far. Maybe to the morning itself, for offering her another chance to begin. Her lips curve into a gentle smile as she exhales again. Movement, memory, and meaning, all flowing together in one quiet breath. She stands tall, strong, and beautifully aware of the life still unfolding within her. The morning sun returns after a night of gentle rain. The air feels cleaner, brighter, filled with the scent of wet earth and new beginnings. Margaret stands near the window, her palms pressed together, eyes soft with calm focus. Her body feels different now, stronger, more awake, quietly confident. Each day of bending and breathing has taught her something deeper than movement. It has taught her how to listen, how to heal, how to trust her rhythm again. She steps onto her mat, the familiar ground beneath her feet like an old friend. The light spills across the floor, tracing a golden path along her spine. She bends forward, feeling the pull behind her knees, the stretch through her back. Her breath steadies the motion, anchoring her in patience and control. There is no rush, no race, no demand, only gentle progress. The narrator's tone softens, speaking through her thoughts, guiding her awareness inward. Knee to toe bends, strengthen your hamstrings, protect your spine, and awaken balance, the voice reminds. She can feel it now, the warmth rising from her legs, the ease in her lower back. Each repetition brings more stability, a deeper connection to the ground beneath her. The hamstrings, once tight and unyielding, now stretch with graceful resistance. Her spine follows, unfolding like a story being retold with compassion. She realizes how every small motion carries purpose, a dialogue between strength and surrender. Her posture improves without force, guided by breath and mindful attention. She feels taller, lighter, and yet more rooted in herself than before. Her body no longer feels fragile. It feels alive with quiet power. The science becomes something she can feel, rather than understand. The gentle bending protects her joints, strengthens her muscles, and improves circulation. Her spine, once stiff, now moves like a wave, fluid and free. Even her balance, once uncertain, now feels centered, dependable, calm. She lifts her head, smiling softly at the sunlight filtering through the curtains. Her heart beats with a steady rhythm that echoes her growing strength. There's a quiet pride in her chest, not boastful but deeply peaceful. She never thought such small movements could bring such transformation. She bends again, feeling the stretch lengthen from her calves to her back. Her body and breath move in harmony, like a slow song only she can hear. Each breath draws her deeper into awareness, deeper into gratitude. She understands now, movement is not just physical, it is emotional, even spiritual. Each bend heals not only her muscles, but also the quiet spaces inside her. She rises once more, her spine tall, her breath full of ease and renewal. The air feels lighter, her heart softer, her energy brighter. She looks down at her mat and whispers, "We did it." Not as a finish line, but as a celebration of progress, of persistence. Her reflection in the window glows with morning light, calm and content. In her stillness, she realizes that strength is not force. It is patience. It is presence. It is the choice to begin again, no matter how slow the motion may be. And in that gentle understanding, she finds a kind of freedom she never expected. The next morning begins quietly, filled with soft golden light. Margaret wakes before the clock, her body already knowing what comes next. There is no hesitation now, no stiffness of doubt holding her still. She moves with ease, like her breath has found its own direction. The mat waits in its usual place, warmed by the morning sun. She steps onto it, feeling grounded, calm, present in every heartbeat. Her body no longer resists the motion. It welcomes it like an old song. She bends slowly, her fingers tracing the air before reaching toward her toes. The stretch feels smooth, her spine long, her hamstrings strong but gentle. Every inhale carries focus. Every exhale releases weight from her shoulders. She feels her body and mind moving together, one rhythm, one intention. There's no separation now between movement and emotion. They are one flow. As her body stretches, her thoughts stretch too, becoming wider, lighter, kinder. She remembers the mornings when she woke heavy, anxious, unsure of her worth. Those days feel distant now, softened by this quiet routine of care. She no longer moves out of obligation, but out of gratitude. Her body has become her sanctuary, her daily reminder of strength. Each motion speaks softly. You are healing, you are growing, you are enough. She smiles without realizing it, her breath steady and full of warmth. In this space there is no judgment, only connection, body, mind, breath. She feels a deep peace rising within, like sunlight reaching the ocean floor. Her back feels aligned, her legs firm, her heart light as morning air. She moves slower now, not from fatigue but from reverence. Every bend is an act of kindness toward herself. Every rise, a small triumph of spirit over time. The narrator's voice blends with her thoughts, whispering truth in every motion. The body listens to the mind, but the mind also learns from the body. She feels that balance now, effort and ease, strength and softness intertwined. It is no longer exercise. It is a moving meditation, a form of prayer. Her heartbeat and breath create music only she can hear. It fills the quiet room with something sacred, something deeply human. When she bends this time, she feels emotion rising in her chest. Not sadness, not joy, but something deeper, understanding. The years she spent disconnected from herself now seem forgiven. Her body had never abandoned her. It had only been waiting for her return. She stays in the stretch for a few breaths, feeling alive and whole. Then she rises again, eyes open, a calm smile softening her face. The world outside looks brighter, the air clearer, her heart unburdened. She whispers softly, "This is how healing feels." The words linger, wrapping around her like sunlight through leaves. Her breath slows, her shoulders relax, her spirit expands. The mat beneath her feels like a promise, steady, faithful, eternal. She takes one last deep inhale, then exhales with peace and release. In this moment, she understands that movement is not escape. It is return. Return to self. Return to life. Return to the quiet, beautiful rhythm of being. The sun filters through the window, gentle and warm against the wooden floor. Margaret prepares her mat, the motion now familiar, almost instinctive. But this morning she is not alone. Her friend Elsie stands beside her, curious and slightly unsure. Elsie watches as Margaret stretches her arms, bends her knees and smiles. "I've seen you walking straighter lately," Elsie says softly. Margaret laughs, her eyes bright with quiet confidence. "I started small," she replies, "just a few bends each morning." Elsie nods, adjusting her stance, trying to follow Margaret's rhythm. Their movements are not the same, one steady, one hesitant, but both sincere. The air fills with the sound of their shared breathing, steady and calm. The room feels alive, like the energy of two hearts moving in harmony. Margaret guides her friend gently, speaking with patience and kindness. "Breathe in," she says, "and as you bend, feel your body opening." Elsie follows, her knees trembling slightly, her breath short but eager. They laugh together when balance wobbles, the sound soft and full of joy. Margaret feels something beautiful, the joy of sharing her rediscovered strength. Movement, once a private healing, has become a bridge to connection. Elsie's eyes light up as she straightens, her spine taller than before. "I didn't think I could do that," she says between breaths. Margaret smiles, her voice calm. "You can do more than you think." They move again, their shadows stretching side by side in the morning light. Each bend becomes easier, each rise steadier, each breath deeper. The rhythm between them grows natural, like a soft conversation between friends. Margaret feels a quiet pride not in herself, but in the shared courage. She remembers the mornings when she struggled alone, doubting her progress. Now, that same journey blooms into something larger than herself. Elsie's laughter fills the room again, light and free as birdsong. The stiffness in her shoulders melts away, replaced by gentle determination. They pause for a moment, standing tall, breathing together in perfect stillness. The silence feels sacred, two lives moving toward strength and peace. Margaret looks at her friend, and something inside her shifts. She realizes that healing is not meant to stay hidden, it's meant to be shared. Through movement, they've created a small circle of hope and friendship. A reminder that aging is not the end of motion, but the beginning of grace. Elsie places a hand on Margaret's arm, her eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you," she says softly, "for reminding me that my body still remembers." Margaret squeezes her hand, the moment tender and full of quiet power. They bow their heads together, breathing in harmony, grounded in the present. Outside, the light glows brighter, spilling warmth across their faces. Their laughter drifts out the window, carried gently by the morning breeze. Two women, two hearts, moving through time with courage and calm. Each bend a promise, each breath a renewal, each morning a chance to begin again together. The morning light rests softly across the room, quiet and golden. Margaret and Elsie sit side by side, their breath slow and even. The mat lies beneath them, warm from their movements, calm from their presence. Outside, the world hums with gentle life, distant birds, the rustle of trees. Margaret closes her eyes and feels her heartbeat steady in her chest. Her body no longer feels fragile, it feels like home. Every bend, every breath, every morning has brought her closer to herself. She thinks of how strength began not with force, but with patience. Of how healing came not from doing more, but from doing with love. Elsie smiles beside her, her face bright with quiet pride. The air between them feels full of light, full of life. Margaret whispers softly, "It's not about being young again. It's about being alive now." Her words linger, gentle and true, wrapping the moment in peace. They rise slowly, hands steady, hearts open to the day ahead. The sunlight follows them as they walk toward the window together. Outside, the world seems new, or maybe they are. And in that stillness, everything feels possible again.